What up, what up? This Finance Fitness and Folk channel, we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So on today's episode, I'm going to discuss how you can file a claim with the VA, or steps on how to file a claim with the VA. So if you're not a veteran of the military, the U.S. military, then you can click out of this video if you want. If you are a veteran, or you have folks that are veterans in your family or friends, then I suggest you, at least entertain the video a little bit, because there might be some information that you can receive that will help you out, because veterans are getting screwed over every single day because they're not getting the benefits that they need, right? So hopefully this can help you achieve that particular goal if that's one of your goals. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribers. Subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep putting these videos out to give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So steps on how to file a claim with the VA. So we'll make this real quick, but hopefully efficient enough for you to understand, right? So number one, of course, you need to file your claim, right? But the first thing you need to do is to initiate an intent to file, right? So long story short with that, go on to va.gov, va.gov, and go to the top right hand corner. There should be a search bar there. Type in intent to file, and it should bring up some links for you to get to that particular page on their website. And I haven't done it in a while, but it should be self-explanatory. Once you get to the actual page, it should give you a way for you to check off intent to file. So here's why that's so important. Because let's say that you initiated the intent to file, but it takes you maybe like 6 months for you to actually file your actual VA claim. And let's say down the road, they actually grant you service connection to that claim you put in. And they're paying you for it, right? They're gonna backdate you to the time you did your intent to file, not the time you submitted your VA claim. I'm gonna say that again. If you're granted service connection, they're going to back pay you for the date you did your intent to file, not the date you submitted your claim. So you're gonna be missing on a lot of money if you decide to wait to put your claim in, right? Put the intent to file in, and then go through the steps to actually build your case and get your paperwork, all that stuff, where to go to the doctor's appointment so you can actually put your actual claim in. But that intent to file gives you a hard date for when the VA is supposed to start paying. That making any sense? So, number two, you need to submit for or request your VA claims folder. For the old heads that's on this channel that was in the Vietnam War, served in the military in the 70s and the 80s, maybe even the early 90s, that's your C file. So for those who don't know, your VA claims folder basically is all your medical records for the time you enter basic training until the present date. So when I submitted for mine, of course, just like I said, I saw all my medical records from the time I joined the military, from basic, actually from MEPS. It actually had my medical records started from MEPS, from the MEPS station, all the way until the last time I went to the VA doctor. So altogether, that file was like 5,000 pages. I went to the doctor a lot, y'all, you know what I'm saying? So during those 20 years I was in the military, and including the 4 or 5 years I was out when I retired, right? So they're not gonna give it to you in a paper form. They're gonna give it to you in a disc, right? So once you get that disc that has your file on it, I suggest you save that thing in multiple places. Save it on a thumb drive, save it on a hard drive, save it on your computer. Keep saving it, because it takes a long time to get that file. When I actually submitted for mine, it took 5 months for me to get it. The VA is kind of slow with a lot of things, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a while for me to get stuff. But it was critical for me to get that VA claims folder, because guess what? Once I started putting claims in through the VA, I used my VA claims folder and I searched through my records to make sure that what I was claiming had proof that it was true, right? And it's gonna be in a PDF form, Papa Delta Foxtrot. And a hack you can do on that PDF form is do a Control F on that PDF form, and it's gonna bring up a search bar. type in a keyword. Let's say that you're complaining about knee pain, right? You type in knee pain in that search bar, and then you click enter, and it's going to go through, it's going to parse through the whole record, and it's going to actually point out every single place in your medical record where you complain about knee pain, or the word knee pain shows up, right? So VA claims folder, very critical, because you need to have documentation in order for your claim to actually go through properly, right? So next, I would say start contacting the VA, start getting appointments, right? You know what I'm saying? Start going to the doctor, start getting things documented. If there's stuff that you want to claim that was not documented before. Now, if you have all your claims in your mind that you want to claim, and you know for a fact that a lot of those claims, a lot of that stuff is in your medical record, then you can go ahead and actually submit for your claim. Put your claim in, right? So, personal experience. So, I submitted my VA claim while I was still active duty. They had this program called, I think, Benefits Upon Discharge Program. I believe that's what it's called. But basically what it was that I was able to file my VA claim a couple months before I left the military. And the premise was that once I retired, within a month, I should start getting paid my VA money if my claim was valid. And sure enough, I retired June 1st of that year, and 2 weeks later, I got my first VA check. It's a good program, you know what I'm saying? So if you still active duty right now, look into that before you retire. But that's how I did my first claim. I've done 3 claims since that time. And I went through a VFW rep one time and got some stuff done that way. But long story short with that, go on back onto va.gov and type in submit VA claim in that search bar, and it should bring you to a page that shows you step by step which form you're supposed to fill out, documentation, all of that, right? And then also, let me backtrack a little bit, okay? So I would say before you actually do that, after you get your VA claims folder, Google the 38 CFR, 38 CFR, right? So the 38 CFR is the blueprint that the VA uses to actually validate your claims. In other words, when you go to your doctor's appointments at the VA, your CMP exams, right? Compensation and pension exams, that particular doctor is going to go through this 38 CFR. They're going to look at what you claim, and then they're going to go through the 38 CFR and look in that form and that document, and they're going to try to figure out if your claim is a valid claim based on the 38 CFR. And if they can't find it in the 38 CFR, it's going to get denied. I'm just telling you that right now. The 38 CFR is a huge document, and it goes in much depth with every single disability you could possibly have with the VA. So, per example, that one. So, when I first did my VA claim, I did submit for knee pain, and I got granted, but I got granted 0 service connection. So what that means is that the VA recognized that the military messed my knees up, but it wasn't bad enough to where they should pay me. So they gave me a 0% rating. That is possible. I'm not exactly sure if folks know that. But if you can, the military can actually admit that they caused something to you, but they're based on the 30 CFR, if it's not severe enough, they'll tell you, hey, we recognize we messed you up from this from this ailment. However, the 30 CFR says we don't have to pay you. So we're gonna give you a 0% rating, meaning that we admit the military messed you up, but it's not severe enough for me to for us to pay you. So that's how both my knees were. I was rated for both knees at 0%. Now years later, I started having some severe problems with my knees. So I went to the doctor. Doctor told me to get a X-ray, and the X-ray showed that I had the onset of arthritis in both knees. So I said, bet. So I did another claim for an increase. I said, you know, hey, I'm getting ready for my knees right now, but I have arthritis in my knees right now. I need an increase based on 30 CFR. I went to the 30 CFR, and I saw that arthritis should automatically grant me 10% for both knees. So I went to the CMP exam, and the doctor had my file up on one screen and the 30 CFR on another screen. And she matched it up, and she said, you know what? You're right. arthritis is named out in the 30 CFR, and based off of this, we owe you 10% for both knees, right? So the 30 CFR actually pointed out that my knees had to be rated individually, meaning that they couldn't combine both knees and say just 10%. They had to give me 10% for both knees, right? So that's 10% for one knee, 10% for the other knee, right? So, and all this is saying that once you get your VA claims folder, figure out what you're going to claim, and then go to the 30 CFR and search that document and see if your claim is actually in the 30 CFR, and look at what the ratings are, because it'll point out, hey, if you have chronic bronchitis at this level, you should be granted 30%. If you have PTSD where you can't leave the house, you should be granted 70%. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a critical document you need. You know what I'm saying? So you need those two things: your VA claims folder and the 30 CFR. Match both of those up, and then figure out what you're owed from the VA. And then, of course, like I said, submit your claim to the VA. And then also, another critical thing: once you submit your claim and they start scheduling C&P exams for you, do not miss your C&P exam. I'm gonna say that again. Do not miss your C&P exams, because if you miss them, then the VA could come back and actually just make a decision on your claim automatically without even actually going back and saying, hey, you missed your VA claim. Now, if something comes up, I get that. But what you need to do is you need to actually call them days before and let them know you can't make that exam, because if you miss one, I've seen it. I've seen it and I've heard it, where somebody had missed this one exam, and within a week, the VA came back and denied their claim after they had spent months on trying to get this claim approved. It's not a game. The VA does not have time to play with y'all. They just don't. You got thousands upon thousands of folks every single day filing for claims. If you miss an exam, the VA is going to assume you don't care about your ailment, and you just submitted for nothing, and they're just going to deny you. So don't miss your appointments. And another thing to throw in there before I let y'all go, because I'm gonna make a couple more videos for this as well. The PACT Act, PACT, Papa Alpha Charlie Tango. That's one of the acts that have passed within a couple of years. That basically what it is that they're going to presume that if you have a respiratory ailment, that it was caused by the military, caused by service. But what I would tell you is that even though there's been thousands of folks that have actually filed for that claim, Lord forbid, I hate to say this, but I think a lot of them are going to get denied. And the reason being is because even though it's presumptive, you got to have something in your record that kind of alludes to the fact that you had or have some type of respiratory ailment. So what does that mean? Get your VA claims folder and figure out if you have something pointed out in your medical record that said you have respiratory problems. Then file for the PACT Act. So anyways, ways to file your VA claims folder, or how do you file your VA claim? How to file for a VA claim. I hope this helped out some folks, because there are some videos out there that actually explain this to a certain degree. But with me being a veteran and because of the holidays, even though you may not be granted any kind of funding, your disability before the holidays come. But the thing is that, it's better now than later. You know what I'm saying? File your VA claim, get what you deserve from the VA, because we serve our country, and VA disability is not welfare. It's not welfare. It's something you're owed based off of your service. Okay? So let's file our claims, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. I endeavor to keep putting these videos out, give you leverage to better yourselves. Find Fitness and Folk. Triple F, I'm gone.